Go. Hello, everyone in Risen Esports. My name is XT, and
I'm Jensen.
And today we're bringing you today's cast of Risen Esports Champion Play-ins. Woo!
Woohoo! Yahoo!
Yahoo! Champions League is Risen Esports Premier League at the moment, as it is the league with no restrictions. You can make any team of, I believe, 7 with substitutes and coaches, and right now we have 64 total teams, I think, that have...
Yeah, it is 64.
64 teams that have applied to be in play-ins, but only 12 people can win.
Only 12 out of 64. That means 52 teams are going to be very disappointed tonight.
Yep, and it's going to be a pretty brutal day because, you know, these matches are a best of 1, and they are pretty rough. If that means, I believe every team is going to have to play 5 games total today. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see not only how the teams will stack up, but how everyone will do based on fatigue and whatnot. So
yeah. The fatigue is very important, playing 5 games in basically one sitting with very little breaks in between.
Yep. So overall, just a quick rundown of the rules before we get started. As we said earlier, 64 teams do enter, but 12 will leave. And getting entrance into Risen Esports Champion League. It's going to be a Swiss-style best of 1. And and each team is required to get 4 wins in order to move on. However, when you lose 2 times, you will be marked for elimination. The max games that you will be playing is 5, and the best possible and the score that you will need to get in is either a 4-0 or 4-1. So.
Yep. Not a lot of wiggle room to lose games. You pretty much get one. You get 1 loss, and that's it.
Yep.
It's going to be tense. It's going to make games very intense for teams, especially when you already have the 1 loss. You really don't want to lose another one. It's going to make those elimination games pretty crazy, especially if it's 2 teams that have 1 loss going up against each other, and one of the teams is guaranteed to be eliminated.
Definitely. And it's definitely going to be something very interesting, especially since we are playing in the preseason patch. As many of you guys do know, this is actually the first serious event for Risen Esports in the preseason, and there are a lot of things that have changed in the preseason for Season 7, such as new runes, champions getting reworked, and new additions to the champion pool, such as, well, SoE being the big one.
Yeah, SoE being enabled is going to change these pick bans quite a bit. A lot of people think she's super strong, mainly due to the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles utility, and pretty much a lot of people think once you hit it, it's a guaranteed kill. So a lot of people are putting a lot of emphasis on that champion, and because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of SoE and pick ban either being banned or being picked early on in draft phases.
Yeah, overall, it's going to be a very interesting tournament for all the teams, especially since they do have to adapt with all the new changes and whatnot. We're just going for our teams to get pro draft started. Guys. Okay, I was planning on transitioning right into champ select, but unfortunately there has been a client bug, so we are stalled for a little bit. But while this time, I guess we can just go ahead and just still talk a little bit more about new champions. And another big one that we can talk about is definitely Ornn.
Yeah, Ornn was released 4 months ago, was seen as a little weak on release, then continuously got buffed in a couple patches in a row, and now the Belling Breath, that W, is seen as just this obscene ability, and the champ is pretty insane, honestly. Pretty much a terror in the top lane. Will probably be 100% pick ban during this play-ins.
And right as we say that, guess what just got banned? As pick and bans do start right now, the Ornn is instantly getting banned along with Ziggs and Leona from Even Ignite.
Yeah, the Ziggs ban's a little weird. I guess that's a target ban that I'm not too sure about. Someone on SoE must play the champion. Leona, though, a little more standard. Press the attack Leona, a terror in the bot lane. And make your AD carry vulnerable, and then the other AD carry will just beat them down and destroy them very quickly.
Yeah,
Strong champion.
And one of the things that you have to keep in mind is that this is a best of one, and these teams only get one chance to really show off, you know, what they can do in these games. You can't really adapt. As soon as you're done with this game, you're instantly moving forward to the next game. And as soon as I say that, Israel is going to be the first choice for Aim and Ignite.
Kleptomancy Ezreal, not a big surprise. Very high priority pick. Honestly, I'm surprised you would ban Caitlyn over Ezreal personally. I would definitely be putting priority on Ezreal more than the Kate. Kate's strong, but she's not that strong compared to Ezreal, who can just ramp up extremely fast in these games and take over very quickly.
Yeah, and Gragas is going to be the next pick for smoking on elephants, and Gragas is not really one of those top-tier junglers right now, as the top-tier junglers at the moment would be like Jarvan the 4th, Lee Sin, both whom which are banned, so yeah, I guess right now it's time to fall back into the Gragas, and Malzahar is going to be the second one picked up, probably for mid lane.
Yeah, personally I would have taken the Sejuani over the Gragas, but maybe he's not a Sejuani player, maybe he's more comfortable on the Gragas and decides to pick it up. Malzahar, pretty standard pick. We saw what it could do at Worlds. Pretty much shut Faker down 3 games in a row, and if Faker can't deal with the champ, then there's probably something broken about it.
Yeah, and overall, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what more power picks we can get, but right as we talk about power picks, it's going to be Tahm Kench and Azir are going to be locked in 2 very strong champions right now for this patch.
And Tahm Kench is actually just extremely good here. He can just eat whoever Malzahar uses the Malefic Visions on. Just eat them up, make sure he can't get the pick. And it's a very strong pick in this situation. And Azir does pretty well in the Malzahar lane. Azir can actually deal with getting shoved in. His soldiers can make steady work of the Voidlings. So it's a pretty good matchup for Azir. It's maybe not the best, but it's good enough. And Azir's just a power pick in general. So why not pick it when it's open?
Yeah, and it's really hard for Azir to have really hard matchups, as you guys saw in the Kespa Cup for the finals. Azir and Ryze was basically the matchup for all 5 games. But right as we talk about bans, Rakan's going to get banned out. Not exactly the strongest support at the moment, but they are going to be denying that Xayah Rakan combo.
Yeah, you just don't want to let those 2 get picked together. It's very risky. Although I'm a little questioning why you wouldn't just pick the Xayah Rakan first rotation if you were planning to go Xayah, but I guess they really wanted the Malzahar and didn't want Aim and Ignite to take it away. So they put more priority on Malzahar than Xayah Rakan, which I think is fine, because Rakan isn't especially strong right now anyways, compared to a lot of other supports.
And the power of Malzahar is really coming from that Nether Grass, being able to lock down one single target when to get that ultimate, regardless of damage. It's just such a strong skill, and it's a skill that you can't QSS from what I believe.
You can QSS it, it just doesn't get rid of the damage.
Okay.
It just gets rid of the actual suppression, but you'll still take full damage, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, and overall, the Braum's going to be coming in against the Tahm Kench, so it's going to be both tanky supports for the bot lane, and Cho'Gath going to be one of the big top laners right now, going to be picked for Aim and Ignite. Kind of risky, considering that right now top lane, in my opinion, is more or less based off the counter picking off the top lane, and that's going to be Sejuani for Aim and Ignite.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if SoE just picks Jace here. Ooh. Didn't expect that. A Trundle pick. Another good pick into Cho'Gath, honestly. But, yeah, tank support's picked on both sides. Not really a big surprise. The changes to runes made it so tank supports are very tanky level 1. They can take a lot of hits before they're able to get taken down. Especially in Ezreal against Xayah, who are kind of weaker early game ADCs. They'll have a harder time taking out the tank supports, so they're pretty much going to be invincible in this game without jungle help coming in.
Yep, and overall, we're going to switch right into the client for the pick and bans, so let me just real fast switch it, champ select client, and bam, there we go. So, as we, when we get into pick and bans here, we just recently talked about, I think the biggest problem with the meta at the moment is definitely the fact that top lane is just such a volatile role right now, because no matter what you first pick, you're super prone to counter picks, and there isn't really one single top laner besides Ornn that you can just safely pick.
pretty much. It's pretty hard to blind pick tops in this meta. You're at risk of running into Jace. A lot of people in solo queue are picking Pantheon as well, who's a very hard champ to deal with. Even though Fiora's kind of in the dumpster, you're always at risk of going against a champ like her. But this is competitive, so we're not going to be seeing a lot of Pantheon and Akali's top, who are kind of ravaging a lot of top lane tanks. But it's pretty risky to blind pick most champs, especially as you see blind pick Shogath, and now he has to deal with a Trundle, who's a pretty hard champ to deal with.
Yeah, and Trundle is just really notoriously known for being able to dominate in lane against, you know, against, sorry, excuse me, against the, what's the word I'm looking for? Against the tank top laners, right? And I think overall, it's just gonna be really hard for Bulky Robo to be able to stack up against Zabuinator. Great name, by the way.
Zabuinator, yeah.
Yeah, Zabuinator. I'm gonna have fun saying that. And Trundle isn't really known for his team fighting abilities, so even Ignite really are gonna have to play around the team fighting phase here in order to make the most of this Cho'Gath pick. Because I think it's basically a given that the Cho'Gath isn't gonna be able to win.
Absolutely. There's no way he wins the 1v1. He's going to have a hard time dealing with the split push. Bulky Robo is not going to have a fun time against this Trundle. This Trundle, if he plays this right, can just run over this game, pretty much. He has two tanks that he can choose to ult. He has a great split push power, and honestly, what do you even do to deal with the Trundle late game? You have to call your whole team over to kill him while he just split pushes free. And honestly, he could still get away at that point.
I think the biggest thing, though, is that right now, Aim and Ignite actually have a stronger bot lane and a mid lane, though. That's something to keep in mind. Even though the top lane is looking pretty unwinnable for Bulky Robo, you still have to keep in mind that, you know, the Israel, Tom Kench into Xayah Braum, like, Xayah Braum aren't really going to be able to do much against this really oppressive bot lane, and overall, it's going to be really on Smoking on Elephants to really figure out a way to get advantages where they can and just try their best to just survive this team of like 2 super carries for Aim and Ignite.
Yeah, this early game is gonna be very important for Homeless Annie to make some proactive plays and try to out jungle Milamo, because if he doesn't, the lanes are just gonna lose pretty much across the board. And it's gonna be his decision. Does he want to get that Trundle going early game and try to shut down the Shogath? Shogath is very prone to ganks. He has no escape other than flash. When his flash is down, Gragas Trundle could pretty much just kill him. He'll have no way to get around the pillar, no way to get around the body slam, and he'll just die. But at the same time, if you camp top for the Trundle, you're at risk of the other lanes just getting run over.
And I think it's a really important thing to think about that. I just said think twice. But it's really important to think about the fact that Gragas was chosen over Sejuani. And right now, in my opinion, Gragas right now isn't really doing too hot in the jungle department as compared to just like the big 3. You'd think about Jarvan the 4th, Sejuani, and Lee Sin. Unfortunately, Lee Sin and Jarvan both being banned, and Sejuani was being available to pick from Milamau Big D.
Yeah, I definitely think that they should have grabbed the Sejuani, so I'm guessing he might just not know how to play the champion, or they just wanted Gragas for some reason. But personally, I would take the Sejuani 100% of the time there and deny the meta junglers, pretty much take them all off the board. Force Milamo onto something that's not as good in this meta. Maybe even just, that would have taken pretty much all the tanks off the board. What tank jungler do you jungle at that point? Do you jungle the Maokai? Probably not. You don't want to. So you have to take a carry. Yeah, and that kind of imps your lineup a little bit.
And I'm really just concerned about SoE's team comp here. They have, once again, we talked about earlier, they have that winning top lane, but it's just their 4-man is so weak compared to the 4-man of Aim and Ignite, who have the Sejuani ultimate through the, what is it, the Glacial, I think it's...
Glacial Prison?
Yeah, the Glacial Prison, and the Emperor's Divide, both being engage and disengage tools. As of, you know, SoE, they only have really situational engages, such as the Gragas ultimate and the Nethergrass coming out from Malzahar, you know.
They have the pick potential, but they don't really have the team fight potential. AI, though, they have 2 big AoE ults. Ezreal is a great team fighter, and even though Xayah is too, it might not really matter, honestly.
Yeah,
I think I could see a game where Smoke on Elephants just get rolled over in team fights if they don't play this game correctly.
Yeah, they're really gonna have to bank on just being able to take their lane advantages and just out macro aim and ignite with using that advantage. But aim and ignite is right now, as some of you guys may not know, aim and ignite is our previous Champion League's champion, and their roster is relatively the same except for their, I believe the change into ADC and into jungle. Blaine Staffer gonna be playing the ADC role, and me and Lamau Big D taking over for the jungle. But Aim and Ignite has been a team that's been around for a while in the Risen esports community, and they have been well known for just immaculate macro play and just knowing how to out-rotate the map compared to another team.
Yeah, I definitely think they won the pick ban. Sure, the Shogun and the Trundle is bad, but it's not like it creates an unwinnable situation that you're not going to be able to come back from. So honestly, if they just play around that correctly, maybe Milamo helps out top lane and make sure Trundle doesn't get ahead, and they try to shut down the Trundle early so he can't be a split push threat, then they can just roll over team fights with the rest of their comp. And you got the Kleptomancy Ezreal to bank on, something that's just going to ramp up and be very strong. This game could easily snowball into ANI's favor very quickly.
Yeah, and another thing that you have to keep in mind here is the power of the Tahm Kench. When we're talking about picks, Malzahar is going to be one of those champions that can help engage those with the Nethergrass to help get those picks. But if, however, the Tahm Kench is nearby, it's effectively nullified. So let's get right into game here.
Yeah, the Flash Nethergrasp isn't going to be as strong as it usually could in most games. It's going to be harder to pull off with the Tahm Kench always being near. If he positions correctly and he stands by his carries or roams correctly, then Malzahar is never going to have a chance to get a good Nethergrasp off. And the pick is just going to be completely nullified.
And right as we get into the loading screen here, we're going to have Aim and Ignite versus Smoking on Elephants. And chat, type in ANI win or SoE win and see who is going to be the team that's going to be able to get the first win off our play-ins tournament.
Yeah, personally, I'm putting my money on ANI. They're a storied, historic team, as well as I think they have the better pick ban here. So I honestly can see them taking the win pretty easily if they play this composition correctly. And I know that they're fully capable of doing it.
Yeah,
so it's just going to be on them to execute this game correctly.
And right as we start this game, let's talk about the rosters. For Aim and Ignite, we have Bulky Robo in the top lane, me, Lamau, Big D in the jungle, Natho for mid, and Blaine Staffer and Chazar in the bot lane.
Yeah, and then on the side of Smoking on Elephants, we have Zapuminator in the top lane, Homeless Annie in the jungle, Monstrous mid, and Felicitas and Dark Magic.
Sorry to cut you off here, but Braum is just caught out here. He's face checking the bush and he's going to get taken down. First blood goes off to Blaine Staffer.
That is tragedy. Not only did he die, but he actually blew the flash as well. And the only thing they lost in return was the Ignite on Tahm Kench, which honestly isn't even that big of a deal. Since you don't take the Ignite, it's not a big deal. He's not going to have it in the early lane, so they might lose a bit of level 2 kill pressure potentially in the early duels. But you trade that for Ignite 100% of the time. That's completely worth.
And overall, it's just, you know that Aim and Ignite have the much better level 1 as compared to Smoking on Elephants. And Smoking on Elephants, they should have just really respected that. And considering this is a best of 1, they should have just, played more defensively and just be aware of any potential cheese that may have happened.
Yep, and also great on ANI to get these early wards down. They warded both buffs, so they know exactly where he's starting. They probably know his early route, and this is going to help out a lot. His early ganks, which is what you want to do on Gragas, a lot of level 3 ganks, is kind of going to be a little shut down here, potentially.
And the Gragas' goal here is to really just make sure that he can get that lead going into top side. As you can see, Milama Big D, he's opted to go towards the bot side clear. The top side clear first before heading into the bottom side, and he's probably going to be applying more pressure towards the mid bot of Aim and Ignite. 2 lanes that are probably going to be really strong here, and Bulky Robo most likely is going to be left on an island.
Yeah, leave your top on an island is a pretty old strategy. We've seen it before. Teams like TSM would run it constantly, and it's not terrible, and you can still win games even if you kind of condemn your top laner.
Yeah,
just make sure you win the rest of the map, and it's really not a big deal. Even if one lane loses, as long as the other 2 win, then you've won 2/3 of the map.
And
plus your jungler's ahead.
To really consider is that the Ezreal got first blood, and he's able to get back into lane with a long sword and some more potions, rather than compared to you know, Felicitas and Dark Magic in the bot lane. So this bot lane already, it's gonna be really helpful.
That extra health pot basically means he can take really aggressive trades and not get as punished, and it'll come out on top every time.
Yeah.
That extra health pot's pretty insane, actually. It changes the way that this lane plays completely, and even though you don't have the ignite, you can still play super aggressive and get away with it.
Yeah,
due to that early buy.
The Ezreal is just going to be having the time of his life in the bot lane, but here in the mid lane, it's probably just going to be nothing too crazy, as you're just going to be poking off Malzahar here, but Malzahar is going to be able to continue farming. However, there's going to be a gank coming in from Milan Big D, but that's going to be a good flash onto Monstrous, and that's going to be flashed down for the mid lane.
Yeah, great flash from Monstrous. If that had hit, he would have 100% died, so it was a good heads-up play. However, without flash on Malzahar, you're definitely at risk of getting ganked, and Azir is kind of taking over this lane early. He's got a bit of a CS lead already, has shoved Malzahar out. Malzahar might have to TP in. Yeah, he's going to have to use the early TP just to catch this wave. So there's going to be no roam pressure from Malzahar. He's just going to have to sit here and shove out the wave pretty much for the rest of the lane.
Yeah.
And Azir's going to have mid lane priority, which is not what you want to see.
And really, Malzahar, all he can do right now is just hope for the best, and once he gets level 6, hopefully he can do something with the ultimate. But if we look at the top lane, Zabunator is going to be doing a little bit of damage, but the camera's just going to cut back immediately. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, Malefic Visions is just going to be the name of the game for Monstrous, as Nathal is just free to poke Malzahar out of lane whenever he wants.
Pretty much. And looking at the top lane matchup, Shogath and Trundle have a very similar passive, something that makes that lane kind of a war of attrition, as you both just heal off from killing minions. It makes the lane has really weird trading patterns from both champions. It kind of favors Trundle. Trundle gets more health back, but Shogath gets more mana. So depending on how the lane goes, they can both kind of shove each other out and just win off like a health advantage from killing the minions.
If there's something I have to criticize here, most of the time when we see the Cho'Gath Trundle matchup, it's always going to be in the favor of Trundle most of the time because he's just really impressive in lane. But to me, it feels like Zabunator isn't really being as impressive as he should be. But as we said, if we look at the bot lane, Milamau Big D, he's going to look for a gank at the bot side, and that's going to be a Braum eaten up, and Dark Magic is going to be going down. Great flash from Felicitas, but however, that's going to be Dark Magic's going down.
Dark Mazix, he does not have the flash from that level 1 invade, so it was a very smart play from Milamo to roam down and get that kill. It was pretty much free and handed to him, and on top of that, he gets the flash off Felicitas, so he can just re-gank this lane later and potentially get a double kill.
Yep. Right now, we saw Homeless Manny earlier just try to gank mid lane, but however, nothing's going to get blown from Nathal as he was just able to walk away. So, really, Milamau Big D, he's able to apply so much pressure, he's back in the mid lane, and Monstrous has to back off.
Yeah, unfortunately he missed the charge, but it's really not a big deal. You're still getting the pressure down, and you're making sure Azir has priority in this lane. And that's a 10 CS lead, as well as Malzahar is actually forced to go magic resist early just to try and deal with this Azir, so that probably will end up being a Banshee's Veil rush of some sort. Or Merc Treads, most likely.
How we see in the mid lane, that's going to be a dive. Milamau Big D going to be able to dive Monstrous, and he's going to get taken down, and Milamau Big D, actually, sorry, no, Chazar going to be picking up the kill for Aim and Ignite. 3-0 in the span of 6 minutes. Aim and Ignite currently have this game in control.
Yeah, that was a great round from Chazar, and a great use of the Ignite to finish off the kill. Pretty much, Monstrous, honestly, when he saw that Sejuani was staying in the lane, I think he should have just backed out, given up the tower pressure, and just conceded the lane at that point.
Yeah,
because dying is going to hurt you a lot more than like losing a quarter of your tower's health, which is at most what you're going to lose early game with the early game tower protection on.
And overall, this is just, once again, although it may have just been Smoking Elephant's misplay, this is just Aim at Night. They're just constantly having pressure with their jungler here, and he's been, in the span of 3 minutes, Milamau Big D has been able to roam both mid, then back to bot, then back to mid again, and managed to pick up kill from that. However, Homeless Annie, from what I've seen, all he's been able to do is get one gank into mid lane and not even pop a summoners from Nathal.
Yeah, I said in Champ Select, if they wanted to win this game, Homeless Annie had to be the proactive one. He had to start making the early plays, but it's just not happening. those early wards and everything has pretty much shut down any chance he has of even getting off ganks, and he's pretty much just hard farming the jungle, and even then he's behind in farm as well.
As I say that, sorry to cut you off, but Monster's gonna get ganked mid again, and that's probably gonna be a death here. Natho trying to get the kill, gonna look to get, yes, he is gonna get the Emperor, he's gonna get the Soldier Charge in and get a kill onto Monstrous. 0-2. Gonna be really in a deficit right now in the mid lane.
Yeah, they had to use no summoners for that. They didn't even have to use ultimate, so they both still have ultimate. Emperor's Divine and Glacial Prison up for both of them. So that's insane that you pull off a gank like that. And this Monsters is just completely shut down at this point. He's a lot of farm down. He's 2 deaths. He's forced onto Banshee's Veil early. It's not looking good for him in this game.
Yeah, but don't count him out yet, because you always got to remember that Nethergrass is going to be a valuable pick tool for Smoking on Elephants. If Smoking on Elephants can somehow find a way to punish any potential mistakes from Aim and Ignite, they do have that leeway from Azhar, but it's going to look really tough, especially with this Ezreal slowly but surely getting to his power spike.
Yeah, he got an early tier, so he's already scaling that up. And he's getting a lot of gold off Kleptomancy, I imagine, so this lane is going very well for them. He's even in CS, so Xayah is not going to have as good of a time, honestly. This Ezreal is just going to probably take over the game pretty quickly. Braum is making this lane, he's not doing much, honestly. The lane's just out-pressured, and they're both down sums. The flash is finally back up for Dark Magics, but it honestly doesn't matter. They're not going to be able to make any plays here. And I don't see Homeless Annie being able to pull off a gank against a Tahm Kench Ezreal. That's such a slippery lane.
Yeah,
this lane's all but... It's pretty much won if you're A&I.
I do have to apologize real fast. The stream was laggy a little bit. I had the bitrate set really low. I just fixed that. So hopefully that's going to see a change in quality for all you viewers at home. But sorry to cut you off there. Right as you were saying earlier, it's... You know, Smoking on Elephant, they're just in a position in which... You know, it's really tough for them to really do much, and Xayah isn't really known for that much being a carry ADC. I honestly just see her more as a utility ADC.
She's a safe ADC, but she's not much of a hyper carry. She has to kind of position pretty well late game to actually hard carry team fights. Her ult makes her slippery, but that's about it. It doesn't. She's not a champ like Vayne or Jinx that's gonna like 1v5 get a penta if you can't kill her. So. It's not really a big deal that she's able to keep up in CS. She's just going to fall behind a champ like Ezreal, who's insane in the mid game compared to Xayah.
So another point I do want to bring up, what do you have to comment about the top lane? Because right now both top laners are basically just even with each other. Even though Trundle should be winning this matchup, he isn't really winning as hard as you imagine he would.
Yeah, every time I look top, the trades go pretty even. Trundle's not really taking over the lane that much. He hasn't even forced Shogat to use TP, which is just really bad and not what you want to see. The CS is even. It's not going well at all over Trundle. He should be winning this lane. And it's pretty unfortunate that that was your one winning lane you picked, and it's just not happening. So Bulky Robo is just playing this lane very well, honestly, to be going this even.
And now all Aim and Ignite have to do, they just have to sit back and just wait until Israel finally gets their power spike. And then they just have to wait for the trigger to be pulled by either Milan Big D or Natho. And it's just going to be such a hard game for Smoking on Elephants, but we'll see what they can do in this situation.
Yeah, and the Zero's also scaling up. He gets a huge power spike once he gets that Nashor's Tooth, and he's a pretty hard champ to deal with. Already, Monsters is having a lot of trouble dealing with the Azir, who's kind of slowly pulling ahead in this game. And Azir is so strong in the mid game. Pretty much their entire comp is just very strong mid game. Shogath gets very tanky very fast due to his ult. Azir hits a very big power spike on Nashor's Tooth, and Ezreal hits a very big power spike on Trinity Force. Once you have all of that in mid game, you pretty much just need to roam around, look for picks with Sejuani ult, look for team fights with Emperor's Divide, and you can just guarantee kills across the map and just pull ahead that way.
Yeah, and you know, 11 minutes in, and currently Aim and Ignite have at least a 2,000 gold lead, 3,000 gold lead now, sorry, onto SoE, and they don't really have to do much once again. What do you think SoE can do to potentially get back into this game?
I think they need to make proactive plays, and they need to be warding a lot more. Their wards aren't deep. They have barely any vision. They have one control ward on the map, or I guess they have 2 control wards on the map. But if you look on the side of Aim and Ignite, they have some deep wards. They have a ward on bot side river that's pretty much scattering out where if Malzahar tries to roam. They have a control ward at the top side red buff. So they have vision all over the place, and I honestly think Aim and Ignite's just winning the vision game really hard, and it's going to make it very hard.
Sorry to cut you off here, but that's going to be another grass onto Natho. Natho looking really low, going to have to pop the bash, and that's going to be an Emperor's Divide, and that pushes Homeless Eddie to safety, but probably not going to be enough, as that is going to be the ultimate coming down from Miyamao Big D, and Homeless Eddie is trying so hard to live, but no, that's Bulky Robo, and he's going to be able to pick up the kill. That is going to be the first kill coming at this Smoky on Elephants, but it's not going to be enough, as Aim and Ignite are able to get that comeback kill.
Even when things started to look good, it just didn't end up the way that it was planned. They got the kill, but they had to blow flashes for it, and they still end up trading a kill back on the side of ANI. Just not something you want to see. This is just not looking good at all.
Yeah.
However, they even were able to kind of toy with the food, and they handed the kill off to Bulky Robo, who's going to give him a big advantage in this game now, who he was supposed to be losing this lane. Zabuminator was supposed to be taking over this. Now he's falling behind. A kill has been given over to Bulky Robo. That's going to give him an item advantage, and he's potentially just going to be able to snowball this lane as well. That'll be 3 winning lanes if you're aiming Ignite.
Yeah, and Miyamao Big D, he's always at the right place at the right time. He's been at most ganks whenever, but right as I say that, Chazar looks a little bit caught off, gonna be forced to blow to flash. But Big Miyamao Big D, he's definitely doing his work in this game, always being at the place he needs to be, and just, you know, whenever things go wrong, such as Natho with being another grasped on, he has been able to turn it back.
Oh, the blue buff steal out from Blaine's Stiffer.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
That's unlucky.
It's gonna gimp your jungler even more. That's a huge CS advantage building up in the jungle, actually.
Yeah.
Usually when you see a CS advantage like that, it's because one jungler is ganking a lot and the other one's kind of farming more. He's ganking way more. He's making way more plays across the map, and he has the CS advantage. This is just a complete out jungle from Milamo, honestly. It's not even a close matchup right now, and he has 100% kill participation. That is an insane early game.
Yeah,
if this game continues to go like this, I think we already know who our MVP is.
Yeah, Miyamao Big D, definitely one of the big players for Aim and Ignite this game. And, you know, like you were saying earlier, you know, Homeless Annie in the jungle, it really just comes down to what's your objective. You're either going to be ganking a lot or you're going to be farming a lot. And, you know, Homeless Annie hasn't been able to do either. You know, he hasn't been ganking efficiently, he has been farming efficiently, but it looks like Miyamao Big D gonna be a little bit caught out here, gonna try to get away, but no, the Poro is down, maybe, no! He flashes out, Ever survived, gonna separate Monstrous, but Zabulinator gonna be able to pick up a kill here. That's gonna be a body slam for Homeless Annie. Homeless Annie's trying to make something work, but no! Natho, he's gonna be able to kite away with his soldiers, and as we can see, Zabulinator gonna be looking really low, and he is gonna be able to pick up a kill. Is he gonna be able to get away? Yes! He's able to get away from Bulky Robo, and overall, 2 for 2. Gonna be favoring a little bit more towards Aim and Ignite, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a pretty insane fight, honestly. It looked really bad for Aim and Ignite at the start of it. Milamo getting caught out pretty early.
Yeah,
but they were able to kind of turn the fight with a great Emperor's Divide and swing the fight over into their own favor.
Blaine looking a little bit greedy, trying to get the kill, and he's gonna get taken down by Dark Magics. Something that you don't really want to be doing if you already have your lead, but that's just an unfortunate mistake from Blaine, and great on Dark Magics from just taking advantage of it.
Very overzealous flash play, very greedy to try and go over the Xayah there. Does get punished for it, gets ignited, gets taken down by Dark Magics, and he had to blow both of his sums there to even go for that play. So overall, that looks pretty bad for the Aim and Ignite AD carry. But all in all, it's still not terrible. It's a kill onto a support. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah, and almost Annie right now, he's currently in a really awkward spot, but that's not going to be a Q going through for Sejuani, but Homeless Annie going to be able to body slam away potentially, but Miyamao Big D, he does have his ultimate, but going to hold on to it because the Bluinator is going to be coming back into lane.
Good explosive cast to get Milamo off of him there, make sure that Milamo couldn't finish the kill onto him. Pretty well played, honestly. It was unfortunate that fight even happened in the first place, though. That was because of that control.
Yeah, no, right to say that. Sorry to interrupt, but Monster's going to be a little bit caught up here. Netherrask's going to be cutting up, but Natho going to be able to deal the damage and potentially kill Monstrous. Yes, Bear's going to come out, but he should be able to live from this. And Bulky Robo currently taking a little bit damage to the top side, but overall, great dive, and that's first turret for Aim and Ignite.
Yeah, and Zabuminator up top took the trade, but he's not punishing the Shogath enough. And because of this, just the game is just going worse and worse for Aim and Ignite, or for Smoking on Elephants, I should say. Meanwhile, Aim and Ignite is just taking a dragon, and this Natho is just huge at this point. He has very good CS.
Yeah.
And very good kill participation as well. Participating in 7 out of 8 kills. That's a big Azir, and he already has his Nashor's Tooth, and he's already building to his next item. He's going to shred the carries in this game. It's going to be insane how much damage that Natho is going to be putting out.
Yeah, right as we see, though, in the top side, Smoking Elephants are going to try to retaliate by taking this Rift Herald, and Boki Robo is going to be here to notice what's going on. Homeless Annie currently not out of mana, but not really sure if Boki Robo can do anything about this. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Boki Robo is full health, full mana. He might be able to contest or at least slow down the taking of it. Homeless Annie is out of mana and half HP, but it looks like it's just going to get secured anyway. His Monstrous roamed over to make sure that it was going to happen. Yeah. So maybe not all in all terrible. You lose the Mountain Drake, but you do get a Rift Herald in turn. But now it's just going to be, are they going to be able to use this Rift Herald correctly? Are they going to be able to get towers off of it? Are they going to be able to pressure the map with it? And we'll see how they use it, and if they use it correctly.
Yeah, and, you know, Boki Robo, smart to not really contest about that. His whole entire team just did a huge play. That's going to be a trade that they're just going to have to deal with. As Aim and Ignite were able to get a kill, a tower, and a dragon. And all they lost in return is just Rift Herald.
Yeah, that's a 5k gold lead now for Aim and Ignite. That's a really good lead for 19 minutes. That's definitely the kind of lead you want to get in a game. It's not impossible to come back from, but it's very unlikely, especially against a team like Aim and Ignite, who knows how to push leads, who knows how to close out games, and understands their win condition and how to win games.
Yeah, but Mila Mount Big D right now going to be doing a little bit of damage on Zabulinator, forcing it off this turret, and this is probably the Aim and Ignite's next objective, as they did just recently get that bot tower, and that's going to be the ultimate getting popped from Trundle. And Nathan currently looking a little bit in trouble here, but that's going to be a flash. But if we look at the bot lane, a little bit of skirmish going on. 2 skirmishes going on at the same time. Now the grab's going to be thrown, but not really going to be able to do much right now. Boki Robo, he's in the middle of everyone, but he's a Cho'Gath. He just has a lot of HP, and, you know, Aim and Ignite, this is not really looking for good for them, but it's going to be all up to Nathan to see if he can do a lot of damage. It's got a nice rupture onto Almost Annie. He's going to get taken down. Faced it on! Zabulinator going to be taken down, and no longer the king of trolls. He's just going to be the king of the gray screen, and that's going to be 3 kills coming out from Aim and Ignite. Boki Robo going to be able to take double kill.
That is that Cho'Gath mid-game power. He has so much health. They were blowing all of their abilities on him, focusing him so hard, but it just wasn't enough to take him down, and he gets a crazy rupture that just swings the team fight completely. And they're in a good position here. That's 3-man with a 0 DPS. They're actually able to take out Baron.
Bye-bye, Baron, and that's going to be a Baron power play coming out for Aim and Ignite. We're just going to have to wait and see what they can do with it. Probably going to be top lane, going to be the target here for them, as it's the only tier 3 tower left for Smoking on Elephants. And it looked bad for Aim and Ignite at first, but as you said, Boki Robo was able to get that immaculate rupture and, you know, just disrupt the whole entire flow for Smoking on Elephants' 3-man.
Yeah, they blew so many abilities on him, and they just weren't able to take it down. And this is an insane lead. This is almost 10,000 gold at 20 minutes. That play was so well done by Boki Robo, honestly, to hit that crazy rupture.
Yeah, and
just
also
very well played. And
also great job to Milamau Big D, also disrupting the front line for Smoky Elephants a little bit there too. And you saw how much distance Nathan was able to cover. He looked like in a really bad spot to begin with, and that's going to be Rift Herald being popped because it was just probably out of time. But as we look, there is a siege currently going in mid lane, and sorry to interrupt my commentary earlier, but it looks like Homeless Annie is going to be taking a little bit of damage. That's going to be a stun though, and it's just going to be a turret being taken by Aim and Ignite.
Yeah, and the Sun Disc comes out for a good fallback, so you can just siege this turret pretty easily now. You have a Azir and this Ezreal who can just kind of poke away at these turrets when they have a chance, as well as poke out the enemy champions. And you have the Baron buff, but it looks like instead they're just going to rotate top.
We look at the top side, and it's a Trundle all by himself. The shark known as Aim and Ignite is going to close it on its prey. Blaine is going to be the first to show, but Milamau Big D has other plans. Kind of predicts the flash here, and it's going to be the stun coming off the Zabulinator. He might just be able to get away from this one, but no, that's going to be a Righteous Glory pop for Bulky Robo. But here it comes! Smoky Elephants missed ultimate, however, from Dark Magics, and that's going to be Bulky Robo almost taken down there, and Mila Mal Big D just gets taken down, but this is a tower that's going to be taken down in response.
Yeah, they lose the member, but they get the turn in exchange. It's a trade that you want to get. And we saw there, the Nethergrass came down with the Shogath, but Chazar just ate Bulky Robo and saved him, and he barely took any damage.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's half health, but he still has so much health because he's Shogath that they can still look to siege this, and they've almost killed this tower.
And that's just the power of just Ezreal and Azir. Nice rupture onto the backline, but not really going to be able to do much from that. Aim and Ignite, you know, I think they have something that I think I know a little about their playbooks. Kills are only temporary, but taking towers are permanent. So that's something that they kind of prioritize, that they just let Mila Mal Big D die there, but they were able to take that tier 2 top tower. Overall, that Baron play allowed them to get 3 towers and almost to kill the Cho'Gath, but that's alright. But however, as we do look, Dragon is about to spawn the second dragon of the game, and it is going to be an Ocean Drake. I wonder if that's going to be contested.
It is an Ocean, okay. On my screen it says Infernal for some reason.
Oh.
But it is an Ocean. Not really the greatest Drake you want to see at this point in the game. You would like if it was an Infernal or a Mountain more, but you're still going to pick it up. It's going to help out your siege.
No discriminating.
It's going to help out your siege.
No discriminating against Drakes. All Drake's lives matter, man. Come on.
You're right. I shouldn't diss any of the dragons. They all have their use, and they all help you take down Elder Drake faster, so they do that.
Well,
so you're just gonna take it no matter what.
Say that. All Drakes have their purpose, and that is to die for the team, and that's gonna be Ocean Drake, gonna be picked up for Aim and Ignite, and this is the siege continues. Now they're at their bot lane.
Yeah, and their vision is just disgusting now. They pretty much have the entire bot jungle warded up, so Trundle's not going to get a flank, Brahm's not going to get a flank. I doubt Malzahar can pull one off. There's so much vision all over the map. They're winning the vision game hard. Control wards everywhere, denying so much vision. Look at their use of control wards. They're just dropping them down to clear wards and then moving on.
Yeah,
making sure that
both teams have
Smoking Elephants have vision.
Both teams have completely different ways of looking at the map right now. But is this going to be a top tower finally taken down? Smoky Elephants are looking to get this top tower, but the bot tower is under siege. I'm not really sure if this is the correct call, but something to point out, that is a control ward all the way at the bot side, but however, Mal Big D trying to look a little bit of damage, Bison missed, and this inhibitor is probably just going to be going down here. Nothing! There is nothing you can do against this. He just has so much siege, but oh my god, that's a lot of damage! Nathan's going to be able to take out Monstrous, and that's just 3 members of Smoky Elephants immediately taken down, and this could be game!
Yeah, Zabuminator just kind of, I think he might have just clocked out of this game. Might be a bit of he gave up and he's just kind of split pushing while the game ends at this point. Well, I guess I can't really blame him, but the game is pretty much over at this point. They're just going to kill the Nexus, and that's a 25-minute win for Aim and Ignite.
Nice feast from Bulky Rose, but overall, great job to our
Zabuminator got the tier 2 tower, though.
Yeah, great job Zabuminator, but great job Aim and Ignite! The first game of the day going to get taken by yours truly.
Yeah, very well played. I think they played their comp pretty excellently. Milama played that very well. Just made the early game plays happen. Made sure they got this early lead, and that was just very well played, I think. If you're aiming Ignite, you should be happy about that game.
Yeah, and overall, you know, great job by both teams. In the early game, I feel like they both tried their best to really do with what they have, and Smoking Elephants, unfortunately, they couldn't really, you know, bounce back from the insane lead coming from Aim and Ignite. As soon as they got that first blood in the beginning onto Braum, Dark Magics, they were just able to just, you know, take what they had and just completely roll over Smoking on Elephants. Completely, yeah.
Yeah, you have a pick comp, but eventually that's not going to help you, especially when you fall behind. It's going to be hard to get picks. You just won't have the damage, and the other team is so ahead, they can just turn the picks around on you, and we saw that. You know, they used the Malzahar ult on Bulky Robo top lane to try and take him out, but it didn't matter. Chazar just ate him up, and then they just turned the fight anyways. They get the tower. So very well played by Aim and Ignite.
Yeah, and we are going to be taking a short break right now. We will be right back with the second game of the day. But great job to Aim and Ignite on their first win. Congratulations to that. And we will be right back with Game 2 in the Champions League plans. Stay tuned.